Hi, I'm Lori Allred. Welcome to Inspired by Pinterest, where I browse around Pinterest looking for amazing crafty ideas from people all over the world and bring them to life each week here on an episode on my craft channel. Today I'm going to be talking about card swaps. Now, for those of you not familiar with what a card swap is it's basically where you get a group of people together, preferably, good friends, close acquaintances, and you plan out, you're going to all make cards and then get together and swap them. So then you make 12 cards, you get back 12 different cards. It's a great way. I have people all the time ask me if I will teach a class on making cards, or they just want handmade cards. And if any of you have been to the store recently to try and buy a card, they're like $6.99 a card. And there's just something about a handmade card that says, it didn't cost me $6.99, but I love you more enough to make you a card. So I am always in need of congratulations cards, wedding cards, birthday cards all the time. And so I'm actually hosting a card swap and thought I would share some of the tips and the way I coordinate a card swap so that maybe you can get together your own group and do that. So I have a beautiful pin board. It's just labeled cards. I'm going to link to it on my blog at allreddesign.net. It has some stunning cards made by some amazing artists from around the world. My favorite, Wanda Guess, I probably pin every single one of her cards. Check out her beautiful designs. Melissa Phillips, her cards are stunning. And basically a lot of really easy, fun ones that you can modify and create your own. So let me talk about putting together a swap group. Don't do so many that it's overwhelming. I've done ones where there were 24 of us. 24 cards of the same card gets really old after a while. So I would highly recommend keeping it to about a dozen. If you do want to do more than that, maybe break it into two groups. And I always make sure I'm in both groups so then I get all the awesome cards. And then I do two different cards. So decide if you're willing to do local and also maybe people that are not local. When I have people ship me cards, I have them also send a self-addressed stamped envelope so that I can put their cards in it and mail it back so I'm not stuck having to cover the postage. Or you can have them pay you to do that. It's up to you. I'm horrible about going to the post office, so I prefer to keep it local. Decide on a theme. If you want to do all thank you cards, all wedding cards. I've even had lists where we have like 3 wedding, 3 thank you, and we sign up for an individual topic so that you don't end up with 12 cards that say happy birthday for 5-year-old boys. You don't want that many cards of the same topic. And then decide a deadline. You don't want it too long that everybody forgets or too short that they can't actually crank out a really decent card. And then I also have some quality tips that I want to share, card making tips. Of course, your best resource, you can invite everybody to a shared pin board where you can maybe share some of your favorite cards and pick for one from the list or one that you're going to modify so that you can all have different styles of cards. Why reinvent the wheel when you can go to Pinterest and look at and I know Pinterest isn't making them, but the amazing designers that we've all pinned are all there. Pre-cut all pieces. So for example, this cute card actually is a silhouette design, and I just thought it was really cute. I don't remember the designer, but I will pin to it on my blog. And I just loved how cute and simple it was, and I went ahead and I'll show you how I broke this down to make it easier on me. So first of all, I cut the backgrounds. So here's all the backgrounds that are already pre-cut. And then I cut down everything else that I would need. I cut down the white, and now I wanted a white, all the pieces of the dress and all the little itty bitty pieces are pre-cut. The little design back here, I just had, rather than go buy a whole bunch of paper, I had a pad that I just figured it's okay if you have a few pink, a few red, and a few yellow backgrounds, no biggie. And then I wanted, since the card's black, I always like to insert a white part where you can write on, so you don't have to look for your white markers, so I have those pre-cut. And then of course I have a gazillion years worth of rub-ons that I've saved over the years, so each one's going to be a little bit different, but I can add the congratulations. And then I put my buttons and my little bow ties that are going to go there, and I just stick them all into an envelope until I'm ready to make them, so it just makes it easier when I go to pull that all out. So do that ahead of time, and then once you're ready, start assembling. So that makes my life way easier, because sometimes I have a lot of time to sit on my silhouette or my die cut and sit there and do that, but then other times I don't. So this is a great tip that I learned from a friend. Another really fun tip that I love is I like to run all of my sentiments through my Xyron. So my Xyron Creative Station, if they're small enough you can fit them through your X, then definitely do that. And then just keep the the coating protection on it until you're ready to use them. So these I will put together. I made this really fun card that I'm going to print out and then stick this across and then maybe punch out some flowers to make it more 3D. So I have all those pre-cut. I got a little carried away. Sometimes I love a card so much I can't stop making them. So I make a ton and change out the saying. And then I give them away as gifts. I don't end up actually mailing them. So adhesive is really important, and I will tell you, here's a couple tips. Definitely pull out your Xyron. Your Xyron Creative Station is going to be your best friend for this. You can run all your titles through it, all your pieces even, the square pieces you've pre-cut. In fact, I did a whole set of these when I had my surgery a couple years ago. Those of you have heard me talk about my mastectomy. And so I thought these were fun, and I ran every piece through my Xyron and just had them. And so I could, when I was recovering, I could sit there and put them together, really rather simple, and just have them ready to go. And this was actually vinyl I cut out so that it was already sticky. So another thing is definitely, I love glue dots. Glue dots are your best friend when it comes to adhering buttons or bows to your cards, so have some of that. A liquid adhesive comes in handy for if you don't have a Xyron and you can't run those titles through, you're going to want to use that. And then here's my secret thing. This is a roll of foam tape. If any of you have never seen one this big, this is actually, I got this from a friend of mine whose husband installs windows. And I love that it is the perfect thickness for most cards. I love that I can just take my pen blade and just cut right down through it to get sections of it. This one I haven't cut into yet. And this is so handy and so inexpensive. I think he charges me like $5 for this whole roll, and it lasts forever. And I believe he told me you can pick these up at most like hardware stores. Check over in it's a foam tape that they put in between the windows. And since I'm not doing it on my scrapbooks, I'm not too worried about whether or not it's archival safe. It works great and super inexpensive. So that's my secret tip for you. I've used these for years and I absolutely love the foam tape from this. So, and then also, here's another little cheat. Sometimes you can find really cute cards at stores in sets. So these are from the dollar spot at Target. And I just thought they were so cute. This one, you get 8 cards in each of them for $1. It's worth it just for the envelopes, if you want to know the truth. But I thought, how fun are these that you can, maybe if you have some embellishments, you could pop that out, maybe add a sentiment to it. So don't feel like you're totally have to do the gazillion pieces. So these are a nice resource. Just step it up so that the people you're swapping with aren't thinking, oh, they cheated. So another thing too, as far as card discounts, you can find these value sets. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby, 50 cards and 50 envelopes, and it was $6.99 and it was 50% off. I can't beat that. That was awesome. And they have them in different colors. Another tip is I'll take a whole ream of white cardstock and take them to my local printer and have them cut it in half, so then I have 100 cards and I just paid the price of the cardstock. Another wonderful source are 6x6 pads. And like I mentioned on that one card, it's okay to vary your paper a little bit. What I love about using the 6x6 pads, these are all my fun Doodlebug ones, is they're all the same kind of color tone, so you can still modify them and use up your 6x6 pad. They're great for card makers. In fact, these ones I've definitely gone through already and used up quite a bit for them, and it's all for cards. My other all-time favorite embellishment for cards are these sprinkles from Doodlebug. I cannot get enough of them. I love them. I think they're a great way to just embellish a little bit on a card, and they have them in solids and these cool like glitter ones you can't see on camera, but they're glittered. They have new matte ones that, oh my gosh, they really are like candy. And I love these. I buy them and like, look at the black. They're awesome for card making. So the last tip I want to share with you is a lot of times I'll get in a card making mode, so I'll make up a few cards, put everything you need to assemble it into a bag. So I have this fun card that I scrap lifted from I think it was Wanda, and I've just put everything I need in here so that I can glitter it up and put it all together at once, and I keep it in a bag all together until I have time to sit down and make them, and then I can crank out a few different sets of cards. So hopefully those tips have helped you, even if you're not swapping but you want to make cards in bulk. This is how I do my Christmas cards every year. I am a firm believer that handmade cards are the best, with a photo tucked inside. That's okay. Photo cards are awesome. I love seeing everyone's family, but a handmade card can't. totally beats that. So hopefully I've inspired you to pull out your scraps of paper, your supplies, things you've had laying around you didn't think to use, and you can come up with some amazing card designs. I'd love to see what you create. You can always post them to My Craft Channel's Facebook page and we'll share them there. So, or tag me on Pinterest or Instagram. I'd love to see what you're creating. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next week here on My Craft Channel.